This week's New Yorker cover features a pile of kids nestled in an armchair reading a book. My family and I spent some time admiring it. "What do you think they're reading?" one of us asked, as if we could discern the answer from our memories of such delights. Sempe, the illustrator of that cover, is not the subject of this PK offering, but the magic he captures is. How do some things, books included, take us outside of ourselves, and how do they connect us? Take, for instance, Frederick Church's painting View from Alana in the Snow of 1871. Alana was Church's mansion on the Hudson. The artist Carly Glavinsky photographed his view to answer a question: how do we locate a landscape? By which she means how to make a contribution to an artistic tradition that began long, long ago in an age so very different from ours. This is Carly in her studio. She was born in Dover, New Hampshire, and grew up in Berwick, Maine, a place to which we'll return. Carly has created a two-part exhibition for the Colby Museum and the Waterville Public Library. Her magical art is our subject. To create a landscape after Frederick Church, Carly used her photo to order this jigsaw puzzle. This was part 2 in her process. Note the title at the upper right. It states a simple fact and, by cribbing Church, is funny. Part homage, part send-up, pure Carly. Third stage, she completed her puzzle by starting with the edge pieces. As both jigsaw puzzle practitioners and painters know, it's the edges that define the image. The concept of painting as window dates to the Renaissance and has seeped into every jigsaw puzzle box. Part 4, Carly had completed her puzzle. She took it partially apart, and what remained was rendered in plexiglass. She then painted this plastic surface using her Alana photo as a reference. She had devised and solved a puzzle, testing her ingenuity. The work in the previous slide hangs in the gallery with the green wall you can see here. Carly's exhibition is on view through February 17th. You may be missing the color green soon. The leaves are falling. The Colby Museum is free and open to all, 6 days a week, closed Mondays. Carly also arranged a group of works from the Colby Museum's Lunder collection, and they are on view in the adjacent gallery to her exhibition. They include this painting from 1918 by Edmund Tarbell of the artist's daughters and his wife in the family's living room. The Tarbells lived on the Piscataqua River, not far from where Carly now lives. The house burned down in 2016, and the lot is for sale. Carly hoped she'd be mistaken for a real estate agent when she took this photo from the spot that was once the Tarbells' living room. As with Alana, a jigsaw puzzle followed the photo, a painted plexiglass object followed the jigsaw puzzle, and Tarbell's strangely beautiful, strangely claustrophobic painting inspired one artist's riff, her rendition of the waterfront view where a house once sat. Carly is interested in the way nature infiltrates the world of human-made things. She sees this phenomenon as a fabric. This is the lovely Filatrice, a spinner, by Henry Kirk Brown, a sculptor in the age of the textile mills. Filatrice gracefully presides at the entrance to Carly's show. The Berwick house where Carly grew up was built by her parents, modeled after the Pliny Freeman house in Sturbridge Village, which we see here. She was the baby in the playpen, observing the creation of what she has called the ultimate artwork. An interest in the past drew Carly to look at American quilt patterns. She liked that they had names like Maine Woods and Garden Path, and she painted these patterns on sticks of wood and assembled them into a neat kindling pile, a quirky object constructed out of a mishmash of inherited knowledge. The Maine woods are a defining characteristic of our state and the title of a book by Thoreau. Decades before that late life book, Thoreau wrote Walden, the title you may spy here. This copy is a cheap paperback version, but its contents, life-changing, world-changing. Here are two very similar things, at least on the outside. You can borrow one of these objects. The other is made of wood and is non-circulating. Libraries are as precious as paintings. I think this is partly what Carly is saying. Also, some books are cool objects. Art you can touch, art to be found on in the stacks. Artists help us see the world anew. Librarians help us find our way to our landscapes, whatever they might be. Hats off to Tammy and her team for letting Carly's great, generous idea flow through Waterville. This is an experiential sculpture from 1970 at the edge of the Great Salt Lake. It is by Robert Smithson. The relevance of it to Carly's project will be part of a November 2nd event at the museum with Carly and the writer and artist Jenna Crowder. The day prior, November 1st, there will be an evening conversation between Tammy and Carly. It's at the library. These events and more, including a book signing for this book in the making, are listed on the handout on the tables in the lobby. The hammock on the cover in the previous image was inspired by this Homer painting of a young woman reading in a verdant landscape. A hardworking artist, Carly gave the title Day Off to her hammock. Recreation can be recreation. Best wishes for your weekend. May it include a day off. Thank you.